What do you get when you combine a who's who of 90s teen movies, an invasion of the body snatchers, the screenplay writer of Wes Craven's Scream, and I Know What You Did Last Summer, Kevin Williamson? Well, 1998's The Faculty, the movie we're reviewing today, and a movie that you can watch for free on YouTube. I'm going to start a series where I review movies that are free on YouTube, so that we can all watch them together. And this movie's list of actors and actresses is unmatched. We have Elijah Wood as Casey Connor, our everyman hero. Jordana Brewster, who still looks the same today as she did in 1998. She never ages. She's 18 here. As the popular, stuck-up chick, Delilah. Josh Hartnett, the rebel, bad boy who gets his haircut at the local Chuck E. Cheese's. Selma Hayek is the nurse who gets killed early in this movie, and many, many, many more. In fact, this cast is almost too large. And this movie is half teen comedy drama and half horror. The first half is teen drama. The second half is horror. But the writing is very sharp. It's by the guy who wrote Scream, and who doesn't love that movie? And they have a main cast of 10 characters, introducing them in a producer's type intro, where they slow down and give a description and name, which is completely necessary, since they know it's possible to get them mixed up at first. But by the end, you will understand the motivations and differences between each of them, making the build-up of the early parts pay off. They also make them all look different. How many movies have 20 generic characters that are easily to get mixed up because they all look the same? Well, that's not the case here. You won't mistake homely, maybe lesbian goth girl Stokely with goody two-shoes and mysterious blonde kitten Mary Beth. Elijah Wood is the most consistent character here, because from the start, he notices the teachers are starting to act odd. He does a good job of being relatable and always having those little hobbit stares every time he sees a teacher do something out of the ordinary. And bad boy Josh Hartnett sells these caffeine ecstasy powder and these ballpoint pens that'll play in later as a way to take down these faculty aliens. And I just can't get over his haircut. It's so hilarious. He got it hit with a weed whacker and he just doesn't care. And while there's a lot of teen drama in this, they actually start the movie off with a bang. There isn't a slow build-up. It's called The Faculty. The trailer gives it away. The faculty of this school are aliens. We already know that. They don't have to do a reveal halfway in. And they set up the T-1000, Robert Patrick himself, from Terminator, as the ringleader who is killing faculty and teachers, and then converting him into his alien cult. I guess you could say saving them, disposing of their human bodies and giving them an alien body, putting a parasite in their ear that makes them feel really good, and also obey him.
Frick.
The reason Invasion of the Body Snatchers and the Faculty works so well is that if there is only one alien, you could potentially get to the cops to help you, or just get to a payphone. It's 1998, and then you'll be saved. So a lot of horror movies are an isolated cabin, them being chased by a monster, but if they can just get to safety, then everything will be fine. But what happens if the entire town is now part of this alien race? There's no one you can go to. And I much prefer this small town being taken over than just one monster chasing you. It's much scarier. So, lucky Elijah Wood and Jordana Brewster end up in a broom closet, and they watch as Coach Willis, Robert Patrick, kills the nurse, played by Selma Hayek, and then brings her back to life, as she is now part of the alien cult. They kill you, then they put a parasite, and then you become one of them. Or they just give you the parasite. They actually don't have to kill you, but would this really be a horror movie without kills? Elijah Wood and Jordana Brewster go to the authorities, the police, the cops, and tell them about what they saw in this broom closet. And they realize that Coach Willis has been converting the cops too, and most of them are now part of this alien race. This sets up two things. The kids know what's going on, but nobody can help them, and the impending, inevitable dread that they will be next. The lackadaisical attitude Coach Willis takes to Elijah Wood really sets it apart from other horror movies, since after he sees this quote-unquote killing and conversion of Selma Hayek, you would think Coach Willis would want to take care of any teenager that saw that. But he doesn't seem too worried. He knows that Elijah Wood is onto them, but also knows there's nothing he can do. He can run to the cops, they're not going to listen. What is this punk teenager going to do anyways? So he doesn't immediately kill him. He lets him spin his conspiracy theories. brushes him aside and knows that the humans that still remain in this town are not going to listen to this scared teenage boy talking about how aliens are taking over the town. There's a really nice scene that they actually use in the trailer where Coach Willis is standing outside on the football field while the sprinklers are going off and Elijah Wood's looking at him, wondering what the hell is going on. The aliens need lots and lots of water, so you'll constantly see them drink water and also just stand in the rain and absorb it, like they're plants or something. Elijah Wood gets a band of ragtag teens together to fight this menace, and they do a blatant ripoff scene from a better movie, John Carpenter's The Thing. And depending if you've seen that movie or not, it'll depend on how much you actually enjoy this scene. I was groaning a little bit since the scene in The Thing is so much better than the one in The Faculty, but if you've never seen The Thing, you might think that this scene is original and cool. So they have a bit of a problem. Since Coach Willis is converting people to become this alien race, but they still look like humans, they don't know which one of them has this parasite in them and is actually an alien. So they're going to do a test, just like they do in The Thing, where they take some of Josh Hartnett's drugs and make each person in this group of teenagers sniff it. Since apparently Josh Hartnett's drugs dry out the aliens and have the ability to kill them, since they need tons and tons of water to survive. So they each take a little sniff, and inevitably, one of them, of course, is an alien. So this is part The Thing, part Invasion of the Body Snatchers, part Breakfast Club. While I understand why this scene has to exist, they should have done it in a different way so it doesn't come off just like a blatant ripoff. I mean, in The Thing, the same thing happens too, where one person does get uncovered that he's an alien. And it just plays out in the exact same way. But at least we know for now that everyone else is not an alien. Elijah Wood is looking for the Queen, since he has decided that if you kill the Queen alien, all the other ones die as well. Not sure where he came up with this, but he is correct. They do have to find the Queen, or the King. At this point, we think it's Coach Willis, but it might be someone else. Maybe an innocent-looking blonde who's been trailing them the entire time. Maybe she's the Queen. And the CGI in this looks decent for 1998. Just like the movie The Thing, these aliens take on many different forms. And we see the final form here, where the Queen begins to chase Elijah Wood. But how is he ever going to be able to defeat these things? This movie was very successful when it came out, making $63 million at the box office on a budget of $15 million. And that's not even counting the multitude of VHS, DVD sales, and even the little bit of money they're getting if you watch it on YouTube. So I think this is a really good film, especially if you like 90s horror movies, which I do. It's directed by Robert Rodriguez, who did From Dusk Till Dawn, all the Spy Kids movies, Sin City, half of the Grindhouse, Planet Terror. And it's what happens when you get a genuinely talented screenwriter and director to make a B movie. It elevates it to a B+ movie. And it's just such a fun time capsule to see whose careers took off and whose didn't. Since at this point in time, none of these people, even including Elijah Wood, were as famous as they would become. And I'll be reviewing other movies that are on YouTube for free because, well, they're free. I haven't seen anyone do a series like this either. Faculty is well worth it, and there is a little bit of nudity towards the end, and I've noticed with these movies that are on YouTube, especially wild ones like Species, they're going to be censored to a certain extent. While this is an R-rated movie, there's blood, there's nudity, there's tons of cursing. It seems like YouTube has standards. If it goes too buck wild, like something like Species, too much nudity, they'll cut it down. Not to a TV edit, but somewhere between a TV edit and the full uncut version. But from what I can see, The Faculty is uncut, and is a rather tame R-rated movie to begin with not a ton of blood or nudity. You see Mary Beth walking around naked, but she's mostly in the shadows, unfortunately. But man, do they like the F word, those rebels. Thanks for watching, and check out our playlist for the other series that we've covered. Twilight Zone, Black Mirror, Tales from the Dark Side, Mystery Science Theater 3000, Cowboy Bebop, Pet Shop of Horrors, and Are You Afraid of the Dark? Thanks a lot.